Good morning, everybody. Hang on just a second. I'm having some technical difficulties here. There we go. Hey, question, can you guys see me and can you hear me? This is an old gamer headset my kids got me and I lost it and we were putting everything back in the living room and throwing things out at the same time as a bit of spring cleaning and I found my headset. But I don't know if it works or if I broke it somewhere in the okay, you guys can hear me. 238 in Bloomington, Louisiana. Bloomington, Louisiana. I'm looking at both of your comments. Hey, Coffee. Hey, Daryl. What's going on, Mary? Um, no specific plan for this one. You guys know my Sundays. I typically will put a kind of a running ticker tape of news and images and kind of let everyone chat. I wanted to actually come on though, one to test my headset and two to say hi to everyone. Um, And yes, Coffee, happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there. If you are not a mom, but you clearly you have a mom because you're here, uh, make sure you call if possible, or at least share prayers and thoughts. Uh, recollect the fun times if possible, and it's a good day when you wake up on the right side of the grass. I know that sounds terrible, but it's true. Um, there's been a lot going on, and I try to keep the Sundays when I do the running news live stream chat thing kinda, "Hey, batshit, what's going Joe? Boozing time cannot start soon enough." Yes, and, I did call you back yesterday, by the way. The reception was terrible, man, I couldn't hear what you were saying at all, but my background noise wasn't helping, but yeah, I got to go to a charity event, and we actually got to watch, uh what's his name? Not the Josh Miller band. I just blanked out. Midland, and then this gal I've never heard before called Bree Bagwell, and she floored me, y'all. She floored me. Um, she went from modern country, like a little bit of Shania, not Shania's not modern, but the more Shania or what's her name, BB Rex or whatever, Lauren God, I can't remember these young singers now. Then she suddenly switched to a Shania. Then she went to a Dolly Parton kind of tone, like she went real old school. Then in the middle of her concert, and this is a blonde gal, you saw her, she'd be some little skinny cowgirl, Selena in Spanish, perfect Spanish. Then back to English again. And I was sitting there going, holy cow, you should be all over country music awards right now. So if you get a chance, definitely check her out. She's a New Mexico girl, and she's still up and coming. But I love to see these small town artists start to take off, especially in country, because I think country still hasn't forgotten how cool it is to be in this country. Um, and we got a few other folks here. That shit. Hello, hello, and Daryl. Hey, Joe again. Stray Kitten. Ola, Ola. And winning streak. Hey, what is going on? And hola, hola. All right, so we got a lot of folks in the chat. So, folks, again, you guys know my style on a Sunday. Hold on a second here. I'm getting some feedback. So apparently that was still so new. I had the little plastic thingy still on the. It was hitting the back of the mic, and I kept hearing this weird feedback. Um, can you guys still hear me okay on this headset? And is it clear? I guess more importantly, because this is a super comfy headset. I feel like a X-wing pilot or something. I just need the little orange helmet to go with it. Who else we got here? Hey, winning streak again. Hey, Joe. All right, thank you, folks. I appreciate that. So I'll tell you what. It's going to be an interesting week. We finally got our house. The contractors are done, and hence we were cleaning, and hence I found my headset. Uh, but it looks. Let me see. Let's look at that. The first of my my first poll here, and let's see what the results are. So yeah, you see, it's I'm gonna put that in the chat, even though you guys can see it, because StreamYard doesn't copy when I close one of those polls and we get the statistics. It doesn't show up on StreamYard unless I copy it and then paste it as text into my own chat, which is kind of funny. But yeah, and the reason I put that poll the way I did is because a lot of people are doing, we're all doing different things, right? Sometimes you just need to take a time out. Um, Invasion Month drill derailment decorations are still up. You know what? Okay. My wife is one of these psychotic Christmas people, like literally one of those commercial storage frames I put up, the storage shelves, the 10,000 pound rated is literally full of her Christmas shit. That's like her psycho thing. And we have the main Christmas tree, we have a patriotic tree, we have the hunting tree, and I'm going to turn the hunting tree this year into the prepper tree. So I'm going to change my tree in my office to the prepper Christmas tree. And I'm going to see. So when I'm going to start that process, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a live stream while I'm decorating it in the corner, and I'm going to have people throw ideas at me, and then I'm going to go see if I can find them. Yeah, and it can go to extremes, right, Daryl? You can have psychotic Christmas and like that family that really goes crazy like we do, and there's like the whole house looks like a big ornament. And then there's psychotic, like, let's go to Walmart and punch each other because nothing says I'm celebrating the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, the Lamb of God, by punching complete strangers in the face over plastic stuff from China, which is a country that persecutes Christians on top of everything. It's just bank failure decorations. Get a little bank with a no through it. I didn't vote. I'm not a prepper. I'm just a stray. Hey, but you know what? The most resilient pets. You guys saw my video short on my cat Boudreaux, right? The orange cat. He was a stray. He is an absolute survivor cat. Thus far, he's brought me tarantulas out here. That was new for him. He's never seen them before. He brought me that big tarantula. Um, he brought me a scorpion, but it was a little one that apparently he just smacked the crap out of it until it died, and then brought me the dead thing. He's brought me multiple birds, copperhead snakes. He's been bitten by snakes. He's been caught by a rat trap. He's been clipped by a car. He got beat up by a very big tomcat. Then he went and attacked the tomcat in its sleep and ran it off. Uh, yeah, he should be dead. Like if I did a close up, he's missing teeth. He has a scar. He probably fractured his jaw at some point, but he wouldn't let me get him to bring him to the vet. He'd run up in the garage. His tail is crooked, so I think he broke his tail. He's missing one claw on his right rear leg. He's been snake bit on that hip. Like he shouldn't be here. I think he's down to 3 lives or something. So, uh, quarters love holidays. And you know what? Oh, and it's funny because I'm OCD about keeping things organized. So Christmas, I actually got to a point I just take the 55-gallon trash with a big black liner and I put it in the kitchen. And I'm like, when y'all are done with your psychosis, put that shit in there because the paper everywhere offends me. You should have let it by for unalive in it. Kind of snake was black on top and gray on the bottom. Oof. Mm-mm. So actually, my daughter was. Hey, Lucky, what's going on? My daughter, who's the biologist, she her fiance is from Brooklyn, right? So and he loves Texas. Like he's a true believer. He came down here and he's like he went back. He's like I can't live there anymore. Fuck that. So now he's a newly adopted Texan, and he goes to let his dogs out in the back, and there's a bunch of little snakes, and I'm assuming they were grass snakes, right? He does not like snakes, right? He's like nope, inside. So he's sitting there going, "Ooh, fuck that." And my daughter's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Because he's a big boy, right? So he's doing this whole "Ooh," like a bug and the heebie-jeebie dance. And my daughter's way smaller than him, and she looks at him and goes, what's wrong with you?" He goes, "The snake's out there." "Oh, really?" So she opens the door and she's like, "Oh, it's, I don't know, Snakeibus maximus, whatever the hell it is." And she goes out, finds a 5-gallon bucket, starts grabbing the little snakes, putting them in the bucket. He, in the meantime, is freaking out inside the house. He's like, "You need gloves." She's like, "No, they're fine. They have small teeth." And, he describes it to me later. She said, "Oh, I just picked them up and put them in the bayou." No, she's grabbing them and they're throwing strikes, hitting her on the forearm. She's like, "Ow, ow," and just throwing them. And then she runs over and into the water, and they just swim away. He's like, "You have to sanitize your hand." I mean, he absolutely did not like that. Uh, Wait, hold on. I need some rattlesnake stuff in my sister's purse. Okay, somebody got punched in town the other day. They had it on the news. Um, this psycho, who by the way did not know the victim, decided it would be funny to throw a dead rattlesnake at someone in public. He was one of these like little meth heads, and threw it at someone's wife. Of course, the girl like fell over, right? So the guy throws the snake away, realizes it's dead, chases the idiot, and proceeds to just pummel him into the ground. And people had to pull him off because he was kind of enraged, and he was getting to that period where if he kept going, he might actually hurt the guy more than necessary, legally speaking. But man, they left him long enough to give this guy a complete beat down, and then they got a hold of him, all these people from the from the restaurant, and just grabbed him by his arms and legs and dragged him. And apparently, they duct taped him to a tree while they were raiding on the cops. They're like, "Yeah, he threw a snake at my wife, so I beat him, and he's duct taped." So they took him into custody with duct tape for throwing a snake at someone. I'm sorry, you throw a poisonous dead snake at somebody in my family, I'd probably beat you too. So, oh Lord, especially evil. Her voice sounds like a loud man. I can't even envision that sound right now. That's just duct tape. Yes, duct tape solves a lot of problems. So, that headset looks the mic is nice and clear. Okay, good. So I think I mentioned on another live stream that we had contractors this week, and the original person who bought our house is only a few years old. They stopped the tile at the end of the kitchen, but it's an open concept house, right? So from like the refrigerator, I can see straight to the back door. And they put carpet through the dining area, the little dining area, and the living room. And I'm like, that's the high traffic. Like, whether you have dogs or kids or both, this is where you want the tile. You should have paid like the extra 1,500 and just ran it right across and roll it into your damn mortgage, but they didn't. And so the guy went real cheap. So we've been upgrading the house. So we had really nice those tiles that look like wood. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And we had those put in all the way to the back, but we had to take everything out of the living room. And we're putting it back, and we're like, I have a Blu-ray player that doesn't even work. Like, what am I doing with this trash? And then we found DVDs that were cracked because from the relo, that was like one spot we never really went back to. So we pulled up all this crap, and I found this headset my son had given me, uh, my youngest son, so he and I could play Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, Battlefield, and talk shit to each other over the internet, which we still do now. My brother and I do. So, and Hayes Gray Prepper and I will jump on every now and then, and we'll play games together, and blow up other people randomly just for fun. A snake bite wasn't trying to be mean. I don't. Oh wait, who got mean? I don't think that was mean. Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't you being mean, kitten. I think it was the. I think it's the Lucky's pretty tuned into the algo. Actually, it got me the other day. So I was trying to do, and a few of you were on that one. I was trying to do a live stream of safely clearing a stovepipe. In other words, when you're shooting a firearm and the casing does not eject from the pistol, it gets hung up in the slide. So I deliberately stovepipe my pistol and I was trying to videotape it and then clear it, and then I would shoot to show, yes, it's now clear and I can shoot. And I got the kibosh on that live stream. So yeah, sadly we don't own the playground. I'm playing on their playground, but yeah, I didn't even catch that. If this hose beast doesn't shut her pie hole, I'm going to electrify the toilet seat. No, you know what you do, Joe, is you. There's a couple of ideas I have, but I'll have to text them to you. It's not technically something that will cause harm. It will simply cause alarm, but it may be offended. Okay, straight. I may have come in on the wrong end of that convo. I thought somebody said you were being mean. I was like, I didn't think you were being mean. Uh, KP said he was going to make a snake bite. Okay, never mind. I think I misunderstood the whole context there, Stray. But hey, Shorty, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, today. Oh, I did want to do. Somebody had asked me about this because I'd mentioned it on a live stream. I don't know if it was Joe's. So this is the I don't know if you guys can see it. And no, I'm not an affiliate. This is just something I bought. This is the 1791 holster. I think these are made in Texas or Arkansas. I can't remember which state makes them. Um, so it is a inside or outside the waistband holster, and I'm testing it out. And actually, so the bad thing is because it's a little thick, it does imprint, but the um, the comfort level because it's leather is just phenomenal. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, no, no. You didn't sound mean at all. Okay, I thought someone had gotten after you, and I'm like, no, no, it may be the algorithm. You because sometimes I'll put things in other people's chat, and they have to take my comment off, and they'll tell me, hey, we can't say that because whatever the AI gods will get offended. But yeah, whoever it was a 1791. It's actually the brand. Uh, they're not too spendy, but they're a little bit more than your typical Kydex. Uh, the one thing I did think was neat is you look at the side and it's on both. It has multiple slots, so you can actually put it on your right side hip, on your left side hip. You can put it across, so on the opposite end, run the belt through the wrong side, so it becomes an inside the waistband holster. You could do it cross draw. You can do it across the back. So Leo Homan, what do we got here? By fomenting border chaos and lawlessness, globalists have sent Trump. Uh, and that walks right into the mark of the beast stuff, doesn't it? And of course, yes. So, a good example, something my kids did. So, my kids liked to battle when they were younger, and the middle son was uniquely mischievous. So, and sometimes malicious, and it came back to him because the younger brother was bigger than him and would beat his butt when they got older. Anyway, uh, I don't know, they got in some kind of disagreement, and I ran everyone off, right? Because I was like, I don't want to hear your shit. And they had separate rooms. So the boy put saran wrap from waist level up on my daughter's door, and then went into the room while she was sleeping, smacked her and pushed her out of the bed, and then ran out and closed the door behind him. But he left a gap where he could slide out under the saran wrap. She opened the door in a blind rage, ran right into the saran wrap, and got bounced back into her room and completely ate shit. Like she knocked down half her furniture. It was like a sideways trampoline with saran wrap. I don't know how he did it, but he absolutely wiped out. So she was furious, right? And so he still set on rattlesnakes in her purse. Um, so 2 days later, she put saran wrap on his toilet, and then Poop didn't look at 2 in the morning. Like she put it after he fell asleep, so he got up in the middle of the night to go pee. Peed the saran wrap, which of course it went everywhere, down his legs and everything. So I can hear this in the middle of the night. I'm like, what in God's name? So I went upstairs and he's like, "Somebody put Saran wrap on my potty." So, yeah. So those are the kind of does not cause harm, but alarm kinda gags that the kid weren't gags, they were being pretty mean. There was the Sharpie on the face the day before picture day incident. So somebody had to be sick and did makeup day a week later. Uh, a chip would be a mark, I would think so. Mark of the beast, yeah, I could see it. That Saran wrap. Yeah, I could see that. My dad was the one who people were stealing our firewood, and they were they were newly arrived to the country, and my dad was a veteran, right? And he was the immigrant in the family, but he was a veteran. He was very proud. And he's like, "No, you work and you cut your own firewood. You don't steal mine." They could just ask, "Oh, hey, I don't know how to cut wood." I would give them some. So, he's like all balled up. And my dad was like Puerto Rican Red Foreman. He said, pal carajo, they can steal all the wood they want. So one day I come back and he's sitting very happy on a tree stump. He's smoking a cigarette in the campground. And I'm like, "Hey, Dad." He goes, "Hey, son, today's a good day." "Why is it a good day?" He said, "You see the firewood?" I said, "Why is the firewood in the poison ivy?" He said, "I put it there." "Why?" "To see if they were stupid enough to steal the firewood from the poison ivy." And I was a little kid. I was about 12 years old. So it took me a second to think that through. And I went, "Dad," he goes, "you shouldn't be a thief. You could just ask. They could offer me a few beers and take some firewood. This is how we barter. What's wrong with these people? Pendejos," and he was just saying bad words. Um, 2 in the morning. So I had like a little tent. It was me and my brother, and then my mom and my dad in the big tent. They had the supplies, and the boys we had like GI Joes and flashlights and shit. And he he opens my tent. He smacks me on the leg. He said, "Come over here real quick. Don't turn on the light." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm half asleep, putting on my pants. I got one sock on. He's like, "Sit on the." We had a picnic table with the screen tent. We're sitting in there. He goes, "Watch." And there's this whole commotion on the other campsite. There were 3 campsites, and they're all packing up, and people are freaking out. I'm like, "What happened? Did something catch fire?" He's like, "No. Apparently, they took the wood. I can hear them from here. And they went through in their bathing suits. Their camping trip is over. Tomorrow, we'll get the workloads from my trunk. We'll get our firewood back, but we have to burn it away because it has poison ivy on it." And God, he cleared out the other people. So, God, he had some zingers, man. So yeah, Joe, I totally get it. The guys in our dad's generation, they were something else, man. That was next level. I'm too scared to get chips. Yeah, like, and where would they? Did you see the guy who has a chip in his hand to open his the magnetic things you use for your cabinets where you don't want kids in the liquor or the knives or something. So you put that little magnet for children. Well, the person had the chip in his hand and he go blink and then the thing would open. So what if he's like plugging in his light and he electrocutes himself and he zaps the chip? Do they have to open his hand and put a new little square in there? Like, at what point does that thing not work? I don't want that. I love chips and fish. My dad taught people to wipe with poison. God, that's so bad, dude. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess if it's an RFID, it has to receive a signal and then it completes the circuit in your hand. Now that I'm thinking of it, and then sends a signal back, like almost an induction current. I don't know if I like that either. My hand transmitting, like Iron Man, but messed up. Yeah, and I guess the person wanted to secure it, and it's like, yeah, but then if there was an EMP or a major hack, then what would like, the machines wouldn't work anyway. Like, what are you gonna scan? Everything's fried. So, like, are you gonna put your hand on an ATM? The ATM is dead, or it's not connected to the internet anymore. Um, no. I'm sure he only did that once. Surprised Uncle Calvin didn't punch your dad, because I know my brother would have punched me for sure when he recovered. Mm, I love this cup. I stole it from my wife. And it has this little guy on the bottom. So she took it to work, and her boss, the VP, showed up that day, and it's the VP is a lady, and she's real high speed, and the girls get along really well. And she goes, "Babe, really?" And she goes, "It's such a cool mug." My wife's like, "It's a cool mug," and the VP's like, "You can't have that. Somebody's gonna complain." Fine, I'll give it to my husband. So she got another mug that said, "Let's do it the stupidest way possible because it's easy for you." And the VP saw that the next month. She's like, "Really? How many of these mugs do you have?" My wife's like, "I have so many." So she's rotating them now so nobody gets offended. Hey, Wolfang. Um, winning is on sick leave. Oh man, I need that coffee cup. Yeah, it's I know some of you guys are annoyed with this company right now, Black Rifle Communist Company. They were picking on them. I don't remember what they did, but pissed some people off. So they've been pecking on them. Coffee's good though, so I can't complain. The fact that they even put a pew on a mug in the open market, I got to give them some points for that. But in any case, folks, let's see what other did we get the results of that last one. So I'm going to throw another poll up here. So I'm going to throw this one open to the audience. Is there a specific poll? Wait, what was? Oh, did they? And yet they put a rifle on their mug. Really? Pew pew mugging. So I'm going to open it up to you guys, and I'm going to run the news clips here in a minute. But what poll do you guys want to see? What question would you like to ask your fellow uh, chatters, viewers in the audience right now? So, hey, Vision, what's going on? Hmm. So let me see. Any thoughts from you guys while I kind of conjure up an idea here? Do. Okay, how about any thoughts on a poll you'd like me to throw out there? Oh, and hey, Vision has his weekend. Is it 2 weeks from now, Trent? Or am I screwed up? I can't remember now. Uh, oh, that's good. Okay, so minimum number of rounds. How about rounds per type? Because there are too many calibers, but that's a good one. Okay. Let's see. Also, it'll depend on your environment. Let's see. Let's do 500. Throw that one in the chat. So that's a good one. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to go to Louisiana soon. Going to eat chocolate and work on some things. I've got wireless earbuds in, but I'm not in front of the monitor unless RP addresses me there. Okay, no worries. I appreciate it, Lucky. And yeah, that's part of the reason I do the Sunday live stream. I sometimes jump in, and sometimes it's just like the videos scrolling because yeah, Sunday's kind of like a busy day for everyone, including me. So it's really the day off kind of thing where our brains work. Minimum 500. Oh, no, and that's fair, like, and that's why I bring these kinda topics up because not all of us are skilled in every aspect of what we could be, so it doesn't hurt, like, if someone comes in and says, "Hey, I'm canning," and they make a canning discussion. I understand canning, I haven't done it because I didn't have the room until recently or the time, but at least I understand it, and I'm now somewhat informed, so, yeah, I would just look at it like that, like, it's just a something you can kind of learn and think about. But yeah, if you're not familiar, it ain't no biggie. Let's see what. Okay, let's see. We're gonna end the poll here, and oh, I think I ended it too soon. Crap. Okay, sorry guys. All right, so we'll throw that back in the chat. Yeah, and and honestly, it becomes after a while, it becomes a question of space and uh and practicality too. Because if you have a pile of ammo, we can physically only carry so much practically. You know, if I'm going for a hike in the mountains, I'm not expecting to have a firefight with Al Qaeda in Big Bend Forest, although I could run into the cartel, who the hell knows. But if I were going to the ranches where there's already been poaching, I'm going to outfit myself very differently, knowing that I could have an escalation. But then if you're walking around the streets, you're not carrying a rifle, you have a handgun, and if I'm in a suit versus a t-shirt, it kind of there are a lot of variables. But no, that's interesting actually. Uh, that 1,000 mark seems to be a pretty popular one. Excuse me, guys. But in any case, so I'm gonna roll some of the news for you guys, and I will be right back. But you guys hang tight. And again, this is an open chat, so you guys want to have conversations, discussions. Uh, don't get all of us kicked off, obviously, but you guys chat for a bit, and I'll be right back. boys and girls. Well, that kind of wraps up today's news review. Hold on just a second. I'll throw those stats in there in case you guys want to come back and take a peek at them. Um, yeah, if you, those of you who are my regulars, if you do start creating, and not like you throw up a video once a year, but you're like start doing something regular and you'd like to build your following, let me know. And I'm sure, like on Vision's channel, some of the other larger, getting larger, because we're all kind of like in that medium range right now. Let us know and we'll try and shout you out, or even like some of the open live streams. I haven't done one in a year, but I have people I've seen in my chats regularly who are starting a channel, have them come up, say hi, and drop off again. In any case, so Vision, there are two Cloverfield movies. I'm a big sci-fi guy. I'm sure you are too. Cloverfield and then 10 Cloverfield Lane. Cloverfield was your classic thriller, or your classic monster, and Cloverfield Lane was more of a psychological thriller with preppers. So yeah, it's a good those are good movies. My only complaint about Cloverfield is it's off to the right part of almost the entire time, as opposed to, going left, going right. I went to watch that movie with a bunch of teenagers, and one of the kids ran out with motion sickness. She got sick. It was my daughter and all her little friends. Um, but yeah, it does. Yeah, you're not the only one. Yeah, John Goodman plays. He plays a very complicated role. I actually think that was one of my favorite John Goodman roles, because that was a very complex character he played. But I'm not going to do any more spoilers here. In any case, watch both. They're very fun to watch. But in any case, folks, that's it for today. So no problems with my headset, guys. You guys can still hear me. Can still, you know, the audio and the video are matching. Yeah. So it's 10 Cloverfield Lane. I'll throw it in there just so you guys can see it. Actually, if book club, if the camera wasn't bouncing around as much in the first one, I would have definitely liked it more. It was supposed to be like a street level thriller. The second one, though, it gets you really thinking. I won't say more because it'll mess with you. So, 5.6 by 5.6. Great. Um, that's awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta go get some stuff done, and you guys be safe out there. I hope the little news royal was useful. Silver, gold is going up again. Silver's kind of flattened out a little bit. So if you're gonna pick up some precious metals, kind of to diversify yourself, now might be a good time to do it. I don't affiliate with any links per se, but check your local uh, coinery, if you will, and your bullion guy, and not just the online stuff, because sometimes you can get a deal locally, and also you're supporting a local business, because usually if they sell coins and silver, they sell other stuff. And so I'd rather give my money to my neighbor than, to some entity, God knows where. Anyway, guys, be good. Thank you, Vision, and all my mods for jumping in and out. Um, any yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all of you moms, and to your moms, obviously. And if a if I missed any of the small creators, on my next chat, next time I open it up on a Sunday, you guys jump in and my mother's part. It was a last minute. I didn't pre-schedule. I've noticed if I don't pre-schedule a day in advance, no, a lot of people get dropped off the notification. But the Sundays are kind of hit and miss for me, because if I get busy, there's no Sunday. So, but anyway, be good, guys. Be safe. Be careful out there, and I will see you all next week.